Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the second game of the second week of the Baddie Overwatch League Season 4. I'm Albino Joe, and with me casting today is Hook Resets, aka Cal. How you doing?
Hey, I'm pretty good. Tough game, but we'll shake it off.
Yeah, you gotta shake it off, but you can't think about your last game when we're commentating on this game here as Waifu Superstar 2, yada yada yada, plays against Jeff from the Overwatch team. There's no yada after that, I don't think.
Well, you can always add it as an afterthought. But
Yeah.
both these teams actually struggled in their first week, both being, I believe, 2 wins, 1 tie, or 2 losses, 1 tie each.
Actually, I believe. Oh wow, we got a pause right now. What's going on with this shit? What's going on?
How dare they?
All right. Well, it was a test. It was a test pause. Good. Good. We know we can pause. But that note. Yeah, I believe Jeff from the Overwatch team did not get a single half point, whereas
Yeah, they got 3-0'd by Easy Clap. Actually, you're right.
yeah. Yep. But yeah, so as everyone's assembling their team here, it looks like the defending team for this is Jeff from the Overwatch team. With Josh Danko playing that fat Zarya, along with Scotch playing that fat Reinhardt. Captain on the DPS is Soldier, and Cuban Pete is Junkrat with the supports, Mercy, and Lucio to back it up. What do you think of that team?
Yeah, it's pretty standard. I mean, Lucio maybe a bit out of place. Maybe it's more of a comfort pick for Donnelly, so he can just be a little bit more mobile than his Zenyatta. But in general, on defense, it's not common.
Yeah, this is a Donnelly's premier, debut for the Overwatch League. I don't think he played last week, did he?
No, he did.
He did? Okay. It was Hibbs that didn't play, right? That's who's the bench on that team? Gotcha. Yeah, good defense there. Solid team that covers all the grounds. And then looks like attack here. We got Tree playing that Pharaoh with Zedekiss going to be the pharmacy of that team. Thrifty on Soldier, Valk and Spagooter on Winston and Diva respectively, with AJS picking up that Zen for the Disco. While it's also a pretty meta team comp. So we'll see what they can do here.
Yeah, their only really awkward thing is that they have a lot of long range, so Valk and Spagooter are going to have to be a little bit more careful of who they focus. But in reality, it should really keep the Junkrat at bay. Junkrat should not have an easy time.
Yeah, and Waifu Superstar here, hugging the left wall, playing D&D here as they go up to the top level to get the high ground. Spagooter leading him in with the res on Tree, who got picked off right away in the team fight. But yeah, it looks like they're just going to take the high ground here and try and pot shot someone down, hoping for a pick as they continue to hug the left wall. Tree and Spagooter rushing Captain on the far left side here, or right now, as the rest of the team is starting to fight in different areas. Valkyrie jumping on 3 of them, getting Dano in the end here. Big pick with the Mercy down, no reses for team Jeff from the Overwatch team as they continue to fight here.
Captain still does get a counter pick on to the opposing Zenyatta. And this fight's like all over, it's half and half. But there is a Mercy still alive.
Yeah, the Mercy on Waifu Superstar is doing work here. Zedekiss, I believe, popped his ult just... No, he did not pop his ult. He still has his ult. But it looks like they should be able to take this. With spawn advantage going to Team Waifu Superstars, only 4 members of Jeff is on point now. 5 coming in with Captain, and they're not really taking advantage of this. TK Thrifty coming in. Tree does get picked off by Captain in the end here as the ult goes down from TK Thrifty, getting no one.
Okay, huge. That was a great Earth Shatter from Scott, stopping TK Thrifty's Soldier ulti. Get res, but in the end, it just is a waste of the Mercy ulti as Cap pops his ult. Everything's going half and half, just like the last fight. This is really messy.
Yeah, they're going 1 for 1. A lot of side fights. No real focus here. As people are just going down. But Tree's able to pop that good ult there as the Zarya ult from Ooh, jeez, just a lot of shit going down. Josh Danko doesn't get anyone, so Waifu Superstar is going to get the cap in the end here after a really sloppy fight from both teams, in my opinion.
Yeah, it really wasn't great. I mean, in the end, Waifu Superstar only really has 1 ulti left after all this. Dano still has his ulti, and Q and Pete, so I mean, it wasn't a bad offense by no means, just the fact that they got it. Cuban Pete gonna get a quick stall.
Great pick from Cuban Pete, but that res is still up, and Zedicus does get him, but Zedicus goes down here, and I think that is a stalled push for Waifu Superstar unless they get gutsy here. You can see Tree is already running back. He doesn't want to mess with that. Spagooter overextended here, dropping his P52 Diva Bomb, but getting no one with it, unfortunately. Scotch somehow does go down to HAS0 in this fight. It looks like Josh Danko is going to be doing work trying to get in people's faces here. Spagooter doing the same, but good res coming out of Dano, keeping Captain alive, who's going to hopefully get a kill here, taking out Spagooter out of mech. TK Thrifty dropping an ult as well, getting Josh Danko out of mech. No mechs on either side, and just a lot of scattered fights here. HAS0 popping Transcendence to keep his team alive here, but A. Donnelly matching that with the beat, and just a lot of scattered fights here. Scott swinging away, getting the double kill. Man, that might be play of the game there. Swinging away, just getting kills, and Tree has to run away and lick his wounds.
Let's see, what do you even say about this fight? I thought it was all over as soon as Dano popped his Mercy ulti, and then he got picked. I don't know.
Yeah, and I thought that was a wasted ult from Spagooter, but that really just gave him the space, Waifu Superstar the space they needed to just get in and start fighting on that. Looked like a lost fight at the beginning, but somehow Waifu Superstar attempted to get something out of it. Unfortunately, it didn't work in their favor.
Something very interesting, Cuban P and Dano actually swapping roles. Dano's switching over to the Pharah. Hopefully give some more air support on these people. I mean, TK Thrifty is no longer on Soldier, so Pharah is going to be pretty uncontested.
Yeah, very good response from Jeff from the Overwatch team there. As Valkyr is getting in the face and distracting for Tree to drop a rocket barrage. A 5K! Oh, baby! Oh, that is a team wipe! Oh, and Zedicus getting up his teammate, no one alive. Only one person capping for some reason of Waifu Superstar 2, but it doesn't matter. But it does matter.
Wait.
Captain somehow gets the point.
He actually killed Zed.
Oh my god, big hammer down coming out of... Oh, Scotch and I. Oh my god. Oh my god. They had the win.
No.
They had the win. What happened?
A C9 off the point, letting Captain get on the point. He ults killed Zed. I don't know where their tanks were doing. What were they doing? They must have just been thinking he would know that everyone else would kill him. They were still staring at the front.
Got too aggro. They could have just kept 3 on the point. They didn't even need to rush off the point, but they fucked up.
Yeah, and now 97% with no ultis, but Zed actually popped his Mercy ulti at the very, very end of that fight to get Thrifty back. Thrifty dying again off to the side.
I can't get over that.
That actually is game changing. 97% is not 100, no matter how much the truest thing.
That's actually C9ing is what it is. Oh my god.
Only 2 minutes left. This becomes a much tougher game for Waifu Superstar.
Ult economy is in their favor with the Ape, Transcendence, and then Spagooter B52 coming into play here. But Cuban Pete has to be careful to not get picked so that Valkyrie could be of use later in the fight. It looks like a slow push is coming out of Waifu Superstar here. Spagooter runs for the high ground, attempting to get Cuban Pete out of the fight, but not succeeding. He's met face to face with Captain, who's more than likely going to take him on a mech. Captain does die in the process, along with Dano to TK Thrifty on the side somewhere. Josh Danko dropping his ult, not getting anyone but creating space as Cuban Pete is able to get both reses off from his Valkyrie there. AJS0 getting the Transcendence out, trying to keep his team alive, hoping to get some picks here as Valkyrie is just slapping shit. Nobody of note is going down, but another great rocket barrage is taking more bodies down from Jeff of the Overwatch team.
And this should be finally it.
And it should be Cap if they don't C9.
Oh, okay.
They didn't C9. They didn't C9. Good job.
They did lose probably, I think they were at almost like 2 minutes 30. If they would have just held it, stayed on the point, they would have gotten an extra minute, but dang.
Well, we'll see that in the bad plays of the week, I'm sure.
That was the good plays. Good job by Captain getting on the point, not giving up on the Soldier.
Oh yeah, and I mean just sprinting in, not even, I mean he did what he's supposed to do, you know, don't worry about anyone that's on the point, just hope you don't die and get on the point, and he somehow miraculously lived and stalled it out.
And killed Zed, which was honestly the game-changing part of that.
That Mercy death on Zedicus there is Yeah, I mean, there's, 3 or 4 points in that whole entire turn of events that could have went in their favor, but they misplayed. And that's
So-
why this is called the Baddie Overwatch League. Woo!
Yeah. Something I actually was critiquing a lot last week was the fact that Zed would literally not play Zenyatta, and with like in the spot Zenyatta is, he's not exactly a must pick, but he's really strong, especially against like stuff like Genji's, just ult soldier. But now they've actually switched it up to Zed playing the Mercy, even though Swift is more known for that, so Swift can play the Zenyatta himself.
Well, and AJS0 is a really good Zenyatta too, as far as I understand and have seen. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad switch around.
It is, and I'm definitely praising them for it. Because
Yeah.
all we saw really from Zed was Moira, and I believe he switched to Lucia as well. Ana. Pretty much anything but Zenyatta, which is what I would prefer.
His champ pool is very similar to mine, so I understand that. But looks like out the gate here, Jeff from the Overwatch team has a pharmacy in the air to contest that line that Valkyr is making for the team. Dano dropping pop shots, hoping to get someone, but no picks out quite yet.
Happen on the Tracer, just trying to be as annoying as he can on that backline.
Doing a really good job, almost taking down Zedekis, but not quite. Getting on point to distract Waifu Superstar, hopefully bringing him to the back. And Valkyr doesn't give a fuck, just runs in, gets a Donnelly in the process, and proceeds to just wreck face in that fuck hut on the right side here. Beautiful play by him, and
Much better.
that's a
What
stealth push.
God, still getting a couple kills in the backline. That both their supports are actually down, so if they can regroup quick enough, they can make a solid push. We'll see if this actually comes into play.
Something to know, but Dano gets picked off right away by Tree. 2 direct hits in a row.
Much better.
Never trust that upper cubby, but the Cuban Pete is getting the res off. But now all 6 are up on both teams at this point as the supports come in from Waifu Superstar late into the fight here. Tree the first to be claimed, TK Thrifty going behind him. Waifu Superstar does not have any DPS, so this is the time to shine for Jeff from the Overwatch team as Scotch now gets another pick as well. He's attempting to on TK Thrifty, who got resin in the process. Zedekis doing a great job on that Mercy, but dying in the process. Trying to save. Trying to
Mini
save.
Diva cannot save it, I don't think.
Oh man, yeah, that was a pretty clean push from Jeff from the Overwatch team there.
And not bad, Josh Denko now has his ulti to combo it, Den's getting close. This isn't actually bad at all for them, because Swift can't stop it. If Zed gets caught, then they pretty much just win the point.
Oh yeah, between that and Dano and Josh Danko combining their ults, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen as TK Thrifty and Tree get picks on Scotch and A. Donnelly respectively. Great plays from from Team Waifu Superstar, stifling that push and holding the point pretty easily as soon as the first point was capped.
Luckily for Team Jeff, they do still have 5 minutes on the clock. A lot of time. They can even wait to just build up all their ults. But now there's 5 to 4 ults right now, slightly in favor of Team Waifu Superstar.
Yeah, whatever happens in this next fight, I'm not going to be coherent as all. It's TK Thrifty gets a pick on Scotch and Cat both.
Oh.
And what was that graviton? Was that Danko's graviton?
Yeah, that's unlucky.
Is that Dick? What? Huh?
I think it was a misclick, if I'm honest. I can't.
Danko, you gotta thin out your fingers, man, because if that was a fat finger, you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. Spagooter, what are you? Oh my god, that push. What was Spagooter thinking right there? I don't know if he was out of position or just chasing hard, thinking they had the advantage, but that pick is going to give Jeff from the Overwatch team an advantage for this fight. As Cuban Pete falls early, though, and that is going to possibly stop any meaningful push from Jeff from the Overwatch team. But they don't care. They're dropping a lot of ults here. Dano trying to get someone with Rocket Barrage, does find Zedekis with it. A. Donnelly popping that Lucio ult really early. Beats going down. Transcendence coming out of AJS0 to make sure that nobody dies on the team, but it looks like Jeff from the Overwatch team is using all of their ults, hoping to kill someone as Scotch, the last member of the team, hammer down and takes his own life.
Takes Scooter down with him, but I don't. They must not have had coherent enough comms to stop ulting there. Unfortunately, it will be another ult down.
A big stretch. I would call it a mistake even from Danko's crew over here. Jeff from the Overwatch team.
Coming out. Still have some time. Josh Danko does have his ulti. This is the time. This is the best time for them, I think, right now. If they stop getting picked, they
they're having big problems with that as Valkyrie gets a pretty massive hammer down, charges in, doesn't give a fuck, killing all sorts of people in the process here. Huge advantage as Cuban Pete is the last one to go down on Jeff from the Overwatch team.
I think what's really amazing right now about Team Waifu Superstar is the fact that they're only using one ulti per fight. As they keep just staggering them over and over, they get to build it up slowly. I mean, TK Thrifty uses his reroll kits too, forces Josh Danko's team to try to retaliate, and they use all their ults. Now suddenly Valk only uses his Earth Shatter, they all die.
Yeah, great communication and awareness, ult awareness from Waifu Superstar here. But a great graviton coming out of Josh Danko here, but only getting 2 kills in the end as there's no ult to really follow it up. But the hammer down coming out of Scotch, not really getting anyone. And it looks like Jeff from the Overwatch team is suffering here.
Bagooter actually managed to right-click the Diva. This fight's not over yet.
No, this isn't. I thought they were suffering, but I just realized no one is really dead from Jeff from the Overwatch team. His Tree is trying to save this point, ulting, only getting Dano, and looking to win this fight. Donnelly drops the Lucio beat, and fight is going out, but spawn advantage is definitely on Waifu Superstar's side, as another ult comes out of Valkyr. The charge on the Danko doesn't necessarily kill him as he's swinging away, hoping to get a kill. But nothing is falling. TK Thrifty clearing the area with a double kill and a mech pop, and that more than likely is going to be in the end of that push. Is Zedekiss ults to attempt to save it.
Oh no!
Another hammer down from Scotch, and somehow they're still in it. Kinda. Dano's dead.
I was about to say they were in such a good place. Zed ulted. Everyone's ulting. Swift is no longer Zenyatta, and then Scotch hammers down again. Unfortunately.
3 Reinhardt ults in that. 2 from Scotch and 1 from Valkyr. Man!
I think Valks really was the more game-changing ulti, especially there. He knocked down a lot of people.
He is very conscious of good Reinhardt ults here, it seems. But another push coming out of Jeff from the Overwatch team. Very dry on the ult pool with Dano the only one. High noon. But same is for Waifu Superstar. But it looks like Cuban Pete is going to go down along with Dano. Zedekiss is 2. 3 members down on Jeff from the Overwatch team. This push looking pretty grim.
Yeah, they're going to have to reset probably 2 fights at best, but in reality I think it's just going to be 1. And very low ults. We'll have to see what they can do. Dan's going to have to come up pretty huge with his Deadeye.
Yeah, but with a Reinhardt shield, it'll be a little bit more difficult. But it looks like Jeff from the Overwatch team is going to try the right side this time, but Tree with an amazing back ult. There's a little bit of blockage from Spagooter there, but not enough to save both of their supports as Tree gets 2 massive picks.
Again, both Mercies are down right now. Dan does kill Valk in the backside of this.
4 seconds left. They have no choice but to try and get on here, as they are on in overtime. 3 members, 2 members of Jeff, 1 member on the point. Danko, save us please, as Donald comes to support him, but AJS0 Kamehamehaing the whole team. Valkyr dropping an ult. It's looking pretty grim for Jeff from the Overwatch team. Cap, no!
Definitely a valiant effort here.
Dano, get back on the point. You can do it by yourself, buddy. Do it. Oh, no.
GG. Waifu Superstar.
Great defensive play by them.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of messes and ults, but
Oh, let me guess, Tree. It's your fucking 5K. I want to see it. I want to see this shit. Jump in the air. Do it. Do it. Alright, so he's in the air, right? And then he just presses Q and everyone's somehow dead in front of him. And they take the point. Oh no, they don't take the point because they get off.
Still, did not matter in the end. Luckily for them, had a good defense.
Epic. Mission accomplished.
55 kills. Not bad at all.
Trey proven to be one of the better players on Waifu Superstar on the DPS there. Amazing Pharah ults at least. They're very, you know, they're game changing. They opened up a lot of opportunities and stifled a lot of pushes from Jeff from the Overwatch team.
Yeah, I think that the best part about Tree is definitely his ults. I think that he generally has very good positioning for it and proves to be good consistently. Is what Waifu Superstar really needs is a rock to lean on. Hopefully Tree can be it.
Yeah, for sure. But Jeff from the Overwatch team, you know, Captain was looking pretty good in some of those fights, but they really need a DPS flanker if they're going to win another map on this. Or Frager. You know, same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
My screen was off.
What, are you casting with your screen off? What's going on?
No, I'm just reading the chat Josh was saying. Dude, I don't need eyes. I use my hearing. It's all hearing for these casts.
Yeah, it's just cues. All you need is those cues, man.
Yeah, dude. I hear Reinhardt footsteps are really loud, so it helps.
Well, looks like the next map here is Dorado. As I believe Waifu Superstar is going to be on the attack first? Did I guess right?
Yeah, no.
Damn it!
Whoever's on blue team is defending every time.
Garbo. I'm absolute Garbo. I've been playing this game for, what, how many years? 2? 2.5? How long has Overwatch even been out?
I think it's been out for like 2 years or so.
Well, I bought it when it came out, so I guess I could say I've been playing it for 2 years. Maybe a little less. I guess they had like a 1-year anniversary. Yeah, it's a little less than 2 years, I think. Maybe? I don't know. Twitch, correct me if I'm wrong.
Or Cass. I can't, I remember it was right when I was graduating high school, was around when it came out. So, it probably will be 2 years around June or so. So, maybe like a year and a half, I guess.
Sounds about right. Alright, well, Waifu Superstar here, picking the pretty standard healer comps, pretty standard for them at least, DPS comps. Pretty standard tank comps.
Exact same thing they ran last time.
Yeah. Working for them. If it's not broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah. On the other side though, if Dano's running the Widowmaker here, that's actually very interesting. As Widow can do huge things, especially if he can shut down Tree on that Pharah.
Oh man, Widow. Oh, I was gonna say Widow Genji just makes me like, I don't know, makes me skin crawl. I'm not a fan of the Widow pick personally, but yeah, that's definitely gonna help against Tree. It should help against Tree. But looks like Cuban Pete is there boosting Dano, hoping to get some picks here, but Dano just falls to AGS 0. Discord and damage boost from Mercy is just too fucking strong. But Cuban Pete gives him another try as Dano attempts to get another pick here. Could be looking for the Pharah, but he's not. It looks like he's focusing more on Spagooter on the right side.
It looks like a little bit of an awkward comp with the D.Va and Orion. They can't dive as well together. Dan does pick off Tree though after Josh gets him really low.
Yeah, but the Mercy res is there, but that distracted him just enough to die to Danko on the flank. It looks like there might be a small opening for Jeff from the Overwatch team, but it looks like that's not necessarily going to happen.
I don't think this fight is over.
It's not, as people are slowly getting picks. Spagooter out of mech from Dano, who's now starting to frag out a little bit, getting some picks, getting some headshots, and they're pushing the cart. But AJS0 says no, as he pops Transcendence. Everyone's still alive on the team. The push is stifled here, stopped, but people are dying on both sides, over and over and over.
This is really just awkward team fights, just like last map. Neither team really catching a foothold. I think finally Waifu Superstar has picked them off enough. So they can finally take a breather after the first 2 minutes of this game.
Yeah, it just looks like the focus is not, you know, people are just dropping everywhere on both sides. There's no clear death ball or anything like that, as each team has a little bit of everything. You know, a dive player, a tank, you know, Reinhardt, and, you know, flanker, DPS. I don't know.
A little awkward. I think Dano's positioning was a bit questionable, but he does pick off Thrifty here, which will probably force the Mercy. Res, can they get anything for that? A nice Earth Shatter.
Yeah, keeping Peep dropping the Valkyr early, as people are just, I guess, dying on both teams. Zedicus is able to get Tree back up after the pick. And yeah, oh man, massive rocket barrage from Captain. It's his turn this time to play the Pharah that gets the kills. And that, my friends, is how you push a cart. Spagooter and Cuban Pete, the last two to die here. And after this cleanup, I believe that's going to be a point cap, more than likely, for Jeff from the Overwatch team.
Yeah, not bad at all. They did a good job combining ults with Cap. Cap, like, while Valk was distracted, Earth Shattering, Cap just got his ult off and beat up some people.
Yeah, I mean, I think Captain's just listening to the stream, and, you know, he was saying, he was listening in on how much I was sucking Tree's dick, and he's like, nope, I want mine to suck too, and just had to get that ult in there.
Yep.
Do some work, get some kills, push some carts. Beginning of the march to the next point starts.
Probably actually saving his team a little bit. They were struggling with much else.
Oh, good early picks on Zedicus specifically. That was pretty good, but AJS0 is wanting to keep the other two members of his team alive. 3 total, including himself. And Spagooter doesn't necessarily go down here. But it is looking a little grim as the fight in the fuck room church thing. Not in the favor of Team Waifu Superstar, and Spagooter, the only one contesting the card, is late to go down as well.
This is really awkward because they're just going to keep only having 3 people. Swift ulting there meant that they would get stalled and they would eventually get killed. Then not winning the fight there means now the next 3 people getting staggered as well. This is just classic stagger.
Yeah, and Dano just doing work on that sniper there, not necessarily getting any important kills right now, but he's keeping an area paid attention to here. Tree dying to Dano, yeah, like I was talking about. But it looks like the cart does get pushed to the second point here. Ults are going down, unfortunately, but there's no need. I don't know why that's going on. They probably forgot that the cart's pushed and they can't, you know, push it back.
Yeah. You know, it's a little bit of a reset at least. They're not just going to push through and keep killing them, but generally there's a little bit of a stall before the cart starts pushing anyway, so it really wasn't worth it, but you know, they do them. Too late now to take back what they have done.
Well, something I really want to talk about here is the, keeping Pete pick is pretty big, but the ult advantage overwhelmingly on the side of Jeff from the Overwatch team. They gotta do something big with that. All 6 of them are up, and 2 are only up on Waifu Superstar. That is massive.
Yeah, they really don't have much of an excuse losing this. But, you know, you never know what could happen. Tree does has his ult. Zed, if he can stay alive and wait for them to use most of their ults, can still pop Valk. Hard to say, but they're coming in from the right side here, trying to see if they can find a pick. Just the tanks though, look at him face.
Sports following his Captain drops his rocket barrage, not, getting TK Thrifty. And Dano getting the monkey as Valkyrie goes down, but Zedicus using that ult, as you said before, keeping a lot of this team up and alive. No one going down to Josh Danko's Diva Bomb, unfortunately. Not really getting anywhere. They used 3 ults and they haven't really done much with it. And Scotch, way out of position up front. Probably going to die here, but he's taking a couple down with him.
You know, when I said that they have no excuse losing this fight, well, they just lost it just by 1 ulti. Or actually 2, Valk used his, but they... Oh, that was not the best, like, sense of awareness. Adalini probably should have ulted to keep Cube and Pete alive. But as soon as Cuban Pete died there, pretty over.
Yeah, just like that, the ult advantage is not that big anymore as TK Thrifty is about to get the ult, making 3 for the Waifu Superstars here. Ooh, big hammer down from Scotch, but AJS0 returns it with a Transcendence, keeping his team up, but not Tree necessarily. The most important member of the team with the Rocket Barrage ult. Spagooter way too far up along this valve. One of them's going to die here, but the ult comes out of Spagooter, killing A. Donnelly, who couldn't get out of that. Just kind of camping around on the Diva Bomb. That was kind of strange there, but doesn't matter. Jeff from the Overwatch team is able to get plenty of kills as Captain cleans up. Oh, baby! I love it.
And now they need to do their final push here. Looks like they're trying to end it. Spagooter going low on the car already.
Good charge, keeping him off the card for a little bit there from Scotch. Spagooter is staggered from his team. Tree is right above, getting a Rocket Barrage down, getting A. Donnelly on Lucio, but falling to Cap, who this game is proving to be the superior Pharah.
Yeah.
Fight is still going down as Valkyr is the main one contesting the card. TK Thrifty as the support cast here, and it looks like the spawn advantage for Waifu Superstar is just enough to keep the point.
Yeah, Scotch, I mean, he ulted in their spawn while there were still 2 tanks just chilling behind him. There's only 10 seconds left. Can they even touch the cart? Diva should be able to touch it.
Yeah, they should be able to touch it.
He's gonna get DMAC'd really fast. 3 switches to the Junkrat to make sure. Oh, but Dano with a nice...
Dano, TK, Thrifty, each popping their sights respectively, but Thrifty somehow just magically kills everyone because he's a wizard or something like that. Scotch being the last one on the cart. Not doing it.
Unfortunately for them, they do not get pushed to the end, but 78 meters, not a bad record, not a bad record at all.
No, but it's not a cap, as hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him. Waifu Superstar takes the attack.
Yep.
Man, I just want to talk about Captain that game. It seemed like Captain and Tree completely switched computers. Like, I think they logged out quick, gave each other's passwords, said, hey, it'd be fun to play on your computer, let me give it a shot. And Captain just somehow is getting all these great ults just like Tree was last map.
Yeah, he really outshone him a little bit there. I think mainly his situational awareness of where Tree was a lot better. He seemed to be above him pretty much most of the times. Even when Tree was ulting himself, he got shot from behind by Cap. But in the end, Tree actually ended up switching to Junkrat just for the final push. But yeah, it's a little bit more awkward, I'd say. I think Pharah's much worse on defense as a character. You don't have as much freedom unless your team is just going to dive on them. It's just kind of like a Genji on defense. A little bit better though.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like Dano, I think...
Incoming in 30
Oh,
seconds.
sorry.
No, you're fine.
I think Cuban Pete must be their designated Junkrat, as Dano and him have been switching up a little bit.
Give it your all.
Yeah.
Taking over Mercy duties.
And Dano is an amazing Mercy, so we'll see how that plays out here. But Cuban Pete on that Junkrat, we'll see what kind of work he can do on that DPS role. And Josh Danko playing what he was famous for at one point, Zarya.
Yeah, I'm back on the Zarya. I think I like it. This first point is pretty nice to have a Zarya, but mainly just because of like the really small quarters. Spagooter getting DMAC is actually pretty huge.
Yeah, he dove a little too far along with TK Thrifty, both of them becoming somewhat useless at this point in the fight. Zedekis a little out of position, not necessarily out of position, but getting picked off, but not necessarily going down. But Spagooter finally gets picked off by Cuban Pete, who is having a 60% ult charge at this point. That might become relevant very, very quickly here. Good res coming out of Zed. Get his other tank back up for the full dive comp here, as all members of Waifu Superstar are up in the
Now both shields are down. Everyone can shoot at each other. TK Thrifty goes down to Captain.
Yeah, and Spagooter getting in the face of the entire enemy team here. Not going down, surprisingly, until just now. Giving a little bit of space, but Cuban Pete getting the 3K with the Riptire. Great job there. That is probably a wrap for this Waifu Superstar push.
Yeah, he does pay for it with his life base. 100% worth. Captain just finished on 3. Little icing on the tip of the cake. Is that a I don't know. I'm not truly American.
Just the tip of the cake, not the
Just
whole
the
cake.
tip? Yeah.
Just the tip of the cake.
Oh no, that's not what I meant to say. Oh shoot.
But another push coming here out of Waifu Superstar. As Valkyr's the first one on the card, Diva. That's Spagooter coming from the kind of flank. I wouldn't call that necessarily a flank, but they're trying to make a little bit of space here as TK Thrifty and Spagooter are trying to handle the back line and not necessarily getting anyone at this time except for Dano, but that is not what was expected there. Tree proving that he could play a Pharah just as well as Captain this round. Oh, Danko accepts his fate and goes down at the end there to Valkyr. Really the whole team. Great push from Waifu Superstar.
Yeah, not bad at all. Josh is actually going to be switching off the Zarya to the Diva. A little bit more open this second point.
Yeah, you know, I get... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say it's a little bit better against Pharah as well, in general. She can actually reach her, so...
You know, I get criticized all the time for saying that I don't like playing Zarya on defense. I understand that her charge and her damage is pretty good. But I mean, you know, the point of that Zarya ult is to clear everyone so you can keep pushing the cart. And on defense, it's kind of not a strategy so much because you're not pushing there. But whatever, criticize me later. Cuban Pete, first to go down for Jeff from the Overwatch team on defense. PK Thrifty going down as well as 5v5 fight starts to break out. His cart is still getting pushed even though man advantages to Jeff from the Overwatch team. Scotch not doing an ult, getting absolutely no one. Falling to, not falling necessarily, he's still alive in the back line. He's doing weird stuff as he's swinging his hammer away. Wow.
Just clapping people.
How'd he not die?
I don't think there was any DPS to really kill him. It was just Valk slapping him with his hands. Actually goes down to Josh.
Yeah, there's Spagooter and Valk there. But, oh well. Great hold from Jeff from the Overwatch team.
A little bit of a reset here. Still 2 minutes 50. They have plenty of time. The thing about second point Dorado is that it's rarely held unless teams are kind of struggling to hold high ground or struggling to keep high ground. I think that Soldier is really good to stop that. Spagooter is mini Diva, just crouch walking along.
Sneaky stuff happening as Waifu Superstar is hugging the right side here, hoping to get a good flank, and they kind of do have a good angle on Jeff from the Overwatch team as Valkyr just jumps in, tries to get Captain, but then realizes that Dano is hugging him too much. Great 2K from Cuban P killing Zeticus. Very important pick, but then TK Thrifty as well, as Josh Danko is also proving why he's the best player in the Overwatch team, taking down Tree, and AGS0 with not that well of awareness here, dropping the trank. Not really for a reason. I didn't really see a reason to do that.
He was getting collapsed on, but in reality, just die. Just
Accept your
die
fate,
there.
man.
Accept your fate.
Your team did it. You can too.
Unfortunately for them, that means they are a support ult down, probably the most important ult in the game. Next to Mercy. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, ult advantage is to Jeff from the Overwatch team here. But we'll see what Waifu Superstar can do as they're just having a firefight here. Danko really out of position, kind of in the middle of the team, but for some reason not finally getting popped out of back there. As Tree drops a rocket barrage that doesn't really have a good angle, only picking up Scotch here. A lot of people dying from Jeff from the Overwatch team, but Dano is keeping everyone alive as Waifu Superstar is now the one that's disadvantaged. Zeticus, the more important one, I think he had a second res in there for Valkyr going down. Everyone dying on Waifu Superstar. This push is done.
Dano comes in with a slap on the Battle Mercy. That was actually pretty funny.
Just showing up with the pistol, popping people.
Yeah, he clapped him though. He didn't even shoot him. He just hit him on the side of the head. That robot never felt it coming. Oh shoot.
Well, this is down to the wire here. This is possibly Waifu Superstar's last push.
Tree's actually giving up on the explosive, switching over to the McCree.
30 seconds remaining.
Another hero he's played on occasion. Trying to shut down.
Ooh, there goes the Danko bomb, killing Zedekis, a very important pick for team. Waifu Superstar does not have much to go with. Valkyr trying to fight Captain up top and not necessarily getting anywhere with it. Zedekis and Tree are the last two up. And it's looking grim.
Yeah, it's definitely looking grim. I don't even know if someone can touch. Tree's trying his best. Take it out.
Spagooter, get him! Spagooter! Ah! Oh, wow. Well,
He's still alive somehow.
wow, yeah, but just go down right away. It's all over the crying, I think.
The tanks, just waiting for the tanks to be down. Swift tries, gets solo ulted. That'll be it.
Gotcha nut, just clapping him.
Yeah, I think Skosh actually had a really good map, as well as Cap.
The game.
Well, Tree, although I was talking about Captain most of the game, Tree has the play of the game here with a very good flank. Didn't even see him coming in there. Says, hello, shooting rockets in your face, your team's dead, this cart's getting capped.
I'm really surprised. That was good.
Great push.
Fortunately for them, not the win on the map.
But not great enough.
Epic.
Yep. Well, that was a really interesting map to me. Over anything, I think that both Pharahs on offense are really showing up, but Cap was able to put out more pressure in the end. And Tree felt forced to switch off, and I was not impressed by his McCree.
Well, that McCree was also just a last-minute switch. I think he was on that for a total of, like, I don't know, 1.5, maybe 2 minutes.
You're not wrong.
That's rough, but a 1v1 map here as we go, or not map, but match, I should say. As we go to Hollywood for our third and final game between these two teams. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who do you think has the edge in this?
Oof. Based off of pure Junkrat play, I would say that Jeff Kaplan has a little bit of an edge. I think that the fact that Tree can play Junkrat as well, but Cap should be able to counter him with the Pharah. It makes me a little bit sad not seeing Cap on Genji, but you do what works in this league.
Yeah,
Sometimes
when you play.
it's Torbjorn.
Welcome.
Oh, jeez. Sometimes it's Torbjorn.
Sometimes it's Torbjorn.
Oh, man. Well, I don't know. I mean, Waifu Superstar, specifically Tree, is known for playing, he's the demolitions expert on the team, as he enjoys playing Pharah and Junkrat very much. So those are two characters that you can almost always expect him to play and have a, kind of plan a counter against here. But yeah.
Who do you think? What's your expectancy for this last map?
Having played with a lot of members from Waifu Superstar, I think they have a plan to clap this map. Whether that plan is executed or not is another question. But they're the ones on attack, and I think their attack is going to define this. Because I don't know if their defense is going to be strong. I don't know. I'm just talking shit at this point, but we'll see what happens. The only way to find out is to see the map unfold.
Looks like TK Thrifty actually gonna start off the map as Reaper.
Attackers.
I remember last season he was a little bit more of a Pharah player, but playing with Tree, kind of lose that. But he brings a pretty solid Reaper. I'm pretty impressed by a lot of ults he gets. Like, just surprise people. No one seems to see it coming.
Yeah, he is a master flanker. I don't know how he gets in back of enemy lines and then suddenly gets a 3K, but it's always consistently a kill on a support and then typically 1 or 2 after that. And he's laser focused on getting really good ults there.
Here we start off with the offense. Oh, yeah.
Map does start out a little bit of a slow push here, but Tree popping up as the Pharahs. Everyone's starting to dive the high ground here between Scooter and Valkyr. Zedekis up there as well, but not enough healing is down on Valkyrie as he dies. No Winston on Team Waifu Superstar. Spagooter, the second tank, going down out of mech as well. And Waifu Superstar has to really get it together in order to take this point. Danko is doing work, flying around, killing people. Captain is getting kills as well, very important ones. Cuban Pete.
Really, the main thing about this, Cuban Pete not touched once. Just allowed to do his thing. Get some damage out.
Yeah, it looks like the DPS were just able to have free reign as Captain is almost to a soldier ult at this point, the highest ult percentage in the game.
Yep. Team Jeff Kaplan actually did a really good job just walking back into that cafe, not letting them get run over by Tree's Pharah and Thrifty's Reaper. Forcing the Wraith Walk pretty early.
Yeah, but what about this this Valkyrie, this Winston in the fuck shack back here, just hanging out by that health point, trying to get healthy. He did get healthy, and I don't know what he's planning, but he's planning something along with TK Thrifty in the back there. But Danko's out of mech. Very important pick, as now Waifu Superstar sees it time to go in. Killing Captain right away. That soldier ult is no longer a problem for Waifu Superstar. Dano and Cuban Pete going down as well to Tree Rocket Barrage. Great Pharah ult, and that's a wrap, folks. Josh Danko, best player on the team, hoping to get a pick with the Diva Bomb, but getting nobody. Sorry, Danko.
Tried your best.
Not today.
That's all people could ask.
Great cap by Waifu Superstar with 5 ults. They only use Tree's ult in order to cap that.
Oh, Cuban Pete does pick up 2 supports on the backline. Can they walk forwards? No.
They're wasting ults at this point. I mean, that was a big hope, but you know, TK Thrifty didn't really have to drop his you know, his Reaper ult there. Yeah, Death Blossom.
Indeed. Definitely not the end of the world. It's kind of a trade with Cuban Pete, but you're right, was not necessary.
Well, we had to report Danko now, I guess, as someone said, aka Josh Danko, to report Josh Danko. For throwing, I'm assuming. That's rough. Get good.
Known as a troll all around the regions of Masters.
Okay, just gotta get good hit, kid. But no one's really contesting. Dango, the first one to get on cart ever since Waifu Superstar started pushing here. And nobody's really doing much as AJS0 is just pot-shotting people from the cart and pushing. Diva Bomb going down, but not really getting anyone from Spagooter. And I don't know, Waifu Superstar is just keeping the pressure on and pushing here. Scotchknot is getting in their face, hoping to get a kill from the hammer down, but not getting anything as he gets overextended and picked. Died in vain.
Swift actually had some really nice shots to kill the Pharah, or kill the Mercy mid-travel. Cuban Pete does pick him up though. Only to get rezzed by the Mercy in the backline.
Yeah, res by the Mercy. He should get picked here by Captain, but Captain is not looking his way at all. As Waifu Superstar kind of rallies, not necessarily a hard reset, but kind of a soft reset. TK Thrifty in the backline, not very close to that Death Blossom, as he does have it, and clears the area. Oh, baby! Oh, baby! 4K coming out of the last shot that shot in space. Oh my god, Josh Danko, you're the last one again. You died in vain. Cart goes to Waifu Superstar.
Just like we were kind of saying before the game, Thrifty, really good flanker. He just seems to be able to get behind them. I didn't even know he was on the point just shooting down at people's face.
Yeah, he's like the fucking groundhog. He just pops up out of the ground and surprise everyone's dead. Like,
yep.
Those flanks are on point.
Actually manages to take out Josh from his mech because he's trying to 1v1 a Reaper. He's a tank. You don't do that. He actually took out Scotch as well.
Yeah, this deep push coming out of Spagooter and TK Thrifty, you know, I don't know necessarily what it's for. I guess they're getting a lot of space, getting past the first corner. We're pushing the cart here, but they went deep and they, I guess, got something out of it. This TK Thrifty has another Death Blossom coming from the back line here.
Cuban Pete found a bad spot there.
Oh, no.
Josh Danko. He picks up Swift though, that's really weird. There's a lot of places to hide back there, but does get one.
Yeah, this fight progressing with AJS0 and Captain out of the fight here as everyone is dying. TK Thrifty is in the enemy lines, taking Danko out of mech, not getting anything else with this Death Blossom. Beat goes down from A. Donnelly, and another ult from Cuban Pete, the Junkrat Tire, picking Zedekiss, very important pick, and TK Thrifty as well. This push is not going anywhere as Velker, one of the last people on the cart, runs back and knows that that's all over. They gotta reset.
And poor Spagooter left in mini diva. They're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. Hopefully you can get that mech back and then they can just reset. 2 minutes left to get this last point.
Yeah, it looks like they're starting to dive again. Valkyrie trying to get on people in the back line, but not necessarily getting anyone. He is probably going to go down very soon, but not necessarily quickly as he can get back to cart. TK Thrifty in the face of Scotchnaut. Who's going to win that? Nobody knows, but AJS0 says none of my team is dying. Diva Bomb coming out from Spagooter, only killing Scotchnaut. A lot of people dying on Team Jeff from Overwatch team thing, and that's a wow! Oh, that's a wipe.
Actually, just a team kill. I think that's just it. That's decently clean. Dead pops the ult, makes sure all of his teammates are alive, and that's point one taken.
Score
Man.
0-3.
Great work from Waifu Superstar at the end there. A lot of ults going down, getting one or two people each, and then the rest of the cleanup was just easy as 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. 139, decently average. I wouldn't say it's a great time. Definitely one that can be matched. I think the player I'm going to be looking out for here is Cap'n. I think he's probably going to play the Pharah again. It was working so well on Dorado.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah, Captain's offensive Pharah is pretty scary, but it looks like Waifu Superstar on the defense here is going with Team Demo Man as TK Thrifty's on that Pharah in the sky and Tree is playing Junkrat.
yeah, a little bit awkward. No hit scan team comp, but it can work. If your Pharah is just better than the other Pharah, Dan might actually be taking over Pharah duties. I don't think Captain will be playing Torbjorn, but you never know.
No man, you gotta move that turret up and then you like put it on the point eventually and it kills everyone. And I mean, I've already established from the last game, Cal, that Torbjorn is just a a Pharah counter apparently. I don't know.
He's a Pharah annoyer more than a Pharah counter. He's someone who forces you to play around him. He basically is really good at holding point. It's basically like playing Widowmaker for players who are bad like me.
I mean, this is the baddie Overwatch League, so that does fit. So
Yeah.
I like the mentality, but team is finally set from Jeff Kaplan from the Overwatch team. As Danko's on that Zarya, which is really important for the team, I believe.
And Captain actually going for the Junkrat. That they're gonna be demo versus demo. Oh,
Falling very quickly here. But
let's
Kaplan
get res
getting
though.
res by Cuban Pete.
All so low.
Ooh, that is not looking hot. That staircase push is not looking hot at all for Jeff from the Overwatch team.
When you're playing a full demo comp against another demo comp, you don't want to be the team that's stuck in the lower corridors.
Yeah. Not the smartest area to push, but Valkyrie going deep on Josh Danko, getting a very good stagger. Scotch thinking that they can somehow get the push here, but he is split off from his team and possibly going to pay for that in the end. But the team is regrouped, the other 5, for Jeff from the Overwatch team takes the high ground, but they're getting picked slowly but surely as Captain goes down. Scotch got picked earlier in the fight, and numbers are in advantage for Team Waifu Superstar.
Yeah, they really need to just get out of here. This fight's not going anywhere in their favor.
As they do a hard reset, everyone's up now, but direct hit rocket from Dano onto TK Thrifty. We'll see if they can take advantage from that. Scotch not just swinging away. Great. Oh my god, great Zariel from Danko. Hammer down from Scotch going. Everyone is dead pretty much on Waifu Superstar except for AJS0, who might be able to start with Transcendence if he can get there in time. And
I don't
TK
think you want to
Thrifty.
waste that though either, just for a couple seconds.
Yeah, they're not going to get anything from it, and he knows it, so they back off, and
Objective A.
Waifu Superstar postures to start defending the second point.
I'm escorting the payload.
Yeah.
Let's keep it
They-
moving.
You know, not the cleanest of fights, but that pick on TK Thrifty really, really helped. Because if TK Thrifty had been allowed to live, then he had ulti ready.
Yeah, and Dano's just hitting direct hot rocket on direct rocket. Danko falls to AJ has 0. Dealing damage here, and Tree is starting to blow things up as well as 2 members from Jeff from the Overwatch team fall. And a lot of people are going down on both teams here. It's not
Such
the
a
card's
pretty
not
huge
moving.
mistake, I believe, from Cuban Pete. He definitely could have rested 2 people and probably salvaged that fight. Held on to it and then floated slowly towards his death. But once again, they're just getting one trades, 1-to-1 trades.
How is Tree still alive? And Spagooter comes in to back him up. What just happened? I saw like 4 members of Jeff from the Overwatch team on the cart not killing Tree as he defended it with some people in back of him. That was strange.
Yeah, I think Scotch missed his swings a little bit, unfortunately. But you know, what are you gonna do? It's a little bit awkward, hard to see him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now they do have 6 ults on the side of Waifu Superstar. What are they gonna do with them? I hope kill.
Yeah, they gotta kill some people. Valkyr dropping a hammer down that only gets Scotch. And the Junkrat tire from Tree is not getting anyone as well as it falls. Oh my gosh, not a lot of good things happening from Waifu Superstar here as they're using a lot of ults and not getting much for them. They are stopping the push as Captain gets a really good 2-kill. Zedekis being the key player killed there.
no.
Spagooter killing Josh Danko in the end of that fight. But Cuban Pete says, no, my Josh Danko will not die. We need him for this push. And they're off.
Josh had 100 energy and he thought he could just go into the little corner and there was a table in that corner. He could not get through the table. And it killed him. Losing his 100 energy, unfortunately.
That sounds like a bad play of the week, as I may have done something very similar to that in Season 2. Well, not talking about past mistakes, we're looking forward to this game here. Josh Danko leading the charge, dropping the Zarya ult, and not necessarily getting much, but Danko does eventually start dropping the Rocket Barrage, getting 2 kills, but Zedekis says, no, those 2 friends of mine are not going down, and we're going to hold this card. As Waifu Superstar has a decent hold starting this push, and Josh Danko is getting slapped around by Valkyr, not necessarily dying, and Valkyr knows that he's not going to die and retreats to the card as well.
The fight's a little bit awkward, but I think that Waifu Superstar is gonna hold it here.
Yeah, with Cuban Pete and Danko down, there's no way that they can push.
Yeah, and with only a minute 30, they only need 1 fight to win. Scotch does have hammer down. They have the Lucy ulti. This is the time.
Now is the time.
Forget that Junkrat ulti though. He's been a menace.
Yeah, he's gotta use that and get, you know, probably a 2K looking for Cuban Pete more than anything. But it looks like Spagooter doesn't give a fuck as he starts pushing in on 3 of them on top of the bank, not really getting anything in the end.
Losing his mech in the process, that's actually pretty huge.
Yeah, that is not good. Waifu Superstar is looking at disadvantage here, but a tire is coming out of tree looking for a big pick. Does not get anyone necessarily, but Zedekis does fall to Scotch, which is going to favor just from the Overwatch team. Tree, only one on card contesting, as no one is really trying to fight him. Now Captain is, and does eventually get him.
Battle Mercy showing up again.
Yeah,
This
Jeff
time
from the
Cuban
Overwatch
Pete.
team. Man, Jeff from the Overwatch team showing up and doing all sorts of damage. Staggered everywhere.
Feeling spry.
Yeah, but I think that Waifu Superstar is going to look for a last minute hold. They're going to come out of the cart.
Oh! Spagooter does get on the cart. AJ at 0, making sure his cast is alive as a all-out brawl on the cart breaks side. Nobody's too far away. Captain's furthest out of the fight. Dano dropping the rocket barrage, but Spagooter says, no, you're not killing anyone more than Zedekis. Diva Bomb coming out, but no one is dying to that. I don't even know what's going on. Somehow, Jeff from the Overwatch team comes out on top and does cap the last point. Or I should say the second point at this time.
Captain and Dano both having really good ultis. Can't taking the pressure away. You can't focus both the Pharah and the Soldier. Pharah was ulting on one side, Soldier ulting on the other, and they just both got some kills, so good job by them. Still one ulti left, they have a minute. They have probably a very low amount of time to actually cap this.
Yeah,
The
they're
advantage
only...
for Waifu Superstar.
Yep, Jeff from the Overwatch team's only hope here is to get as far as they can, but then keep in overtime. But Tree gets Cuban Pete and Scotch and Junkrat tired. TK Thrifty popping off as well, killing all sorts of people. 40 seconds left for Jeff from the Overwatch team. Captain's the last one alive. I believe he is going to get out and survive to push with the team again, as Josh Danko is the last to spawn. 30 seconds left. This is their last. This is their last push. Gotcha,
Yep.
hypey as he's running for the cart pretty fast here.
Hey, no, actually picking up TK Thrifty again.
TK Thrifty going down, that is a big push. Josh Danko with a perfect Diva Bomb, getting two. For some reason, the shield is dropped by Valkyrie,
So-
I believe.
Valkyrie actually was trying to hammer down and got flashbanged at the perfect time by Dano. That was actually huge.
Oh,
Well
man.
done.
Gemeinsam kämpfen wir.
Cuban Pete with the early Mercy ult. They are going to need that. TK Thrifty, they don't know if he has ult or not. Actually, they do because he popped that last fight. But no, Valkyrie is pushing in on the Scotch out here. Jeff from the Overwatch team is looking all right, but Zedekis is also ulting early. The Diva Bomb coming out, but not getting anyone. All sorts of mayhem is going down. Zedekis AJ0 trying to keep his team alive with the Transcendence. Man, more members of the team from Jeff from the Overwatch team is alive than the other team is. They look like they are going to push the cart. Spagooter, Mini Diva trying to get the cart. Not in time. TK Thrifty, the last one on the cart, but the Overwatch!
No.
Overtime! Oh
The
no!
C9.
C9! Man,
Play of
this
the
play
game.
of the game going to Tree. Probably one of his 4Ks. Bada
Just a
bing,
2K, but
bada boom. Two very important players that were pushing the cart at the time.
Boom.
And the landmine.
He actually killed someone with his trap too there. Well done.
Oh man.